Unless you're living under a rock on social media, you've heard the voiceover of the Rugrats and I got responsibilities now and adulting sucks. Because guess what? I really, really wanted one of these two sneakers, a Yeezy and a Travis Scott. Absolutely could have gotten them. Why didn't I?
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video on Talks with TJ, and we're back with the responsible content. Not that I have any issues with anyone having purchased these shoes if they were still in my position right now, because I still don't blame you if you would. Okay, and what am I talking about? If you were around last year, especially when the freeze happened on federal student loans by the government, you know I did an entire series where I passed on sneakers I wanted and I was willing to possibly pay resale for, instead to pay down the principal of my student debt. Why? For one, this is probably the only time in history, because I would hope history would not repeat itself right now, where the loans are frozen. There's no interest being accrued, and it's a great time if you're financially stable and have the means to possibly pay down that debt. Now, that's one option you can take. Another option some people are taking, they're kind of saying, you know, forget those loans, screw those loans. I'm gonna go live life. I'm gonna spend that money on myself. I'm gonna travel. Maybe I'll invest back into my home or something I do creatively, visit family and friends safely. They're doing any number of things. They're living life. They're enjoying life. They're not giving that money to the government. Again, I have no problem with that. You could be doing that with the hopes that they cancel this student debt altogether. You could be doing this with the reality that, hey, once those loans kick back in and those payments are due, then I'll start paying them. Until then, they're not getting a dime from me. I'm not mad at you about that at all. Long ago, a friend, they were like, hey, so are you concerned that the loans could come back into play? Like, are you concerned they could, you know, what if, if you're paying on your student loans, let me put it this way. If you're paying on your student loans and the government comes back and they say, hey, we're thinking of canceling, how would you feel then? Well, the reality is I just don't have faith that they're gonna work together in this bipartisanship, okay, to cancel all of the federal debt. I just don't. Like, it's wishful thinking, but I don't want to wait around for a politician to be a savior for me. I don't care who it is. I just don't want to wait for that. If I'm in a position to take action and put myself in a better situation, then I would rather do that. Now, again, I am also financially stable right now where I haven't had to worry about income or livelihood during this time. So that's why I'm also choosing to do it. If you were someone with the job market, for whatever it is, your role was unstable, then I totally get you not doing this. But because I'm in the position that I'm in, I want to take advantage of that. And that means continuing to pay on the principal of my student debt. The goal is to have it gone, 100% gone in 2022. I'm more than capable of doing that if I can just stay dedicated and not get off track. Some months will vary. It won't be a set amount every single month. Some months will vary of what's paid. As creative jobs come in, I definitely plan to throw quite a few of those checks towards my student debt too, just to pick up that momentum. And when it comes to your student debt right now, pay very close attention to all of the communication that's going out from whoever your service provider is for your loans, because like my loans transferred over from my Fed loan to a totally different service provider now that will take care of those. So I have to make sure that account is set up and they have all of that information on file so that I can start the payments there. Like, actually, I went to pay on everything earlier this month, or put a payment in earlier this month, and when I went in, it said, oh, you have no loans. I'm like, I wish that was the case. Let me not believe that lie. Well, they showed I had zero balance in loans because they had already transferred it over to a whole nother system to my other provider now. So those payments are now for this month all going towards that provider, so you guys can see the amount here that will not go towards sneakers. But let's go over the sneakers. At least there are two that I could have gotten just because they're right within that same range. Okay, so One of them being the Yeezy Boost 700 Inertia. As we know, like, I've developed a very, very just deep appreciation for the 700 model and a ton of the colorway. So the Inertia is, again, a subtle enough blue where I think it can go with a number of things. It definitely does remind me of the kind of that blue tint vibe, or even the Hyper Royal 1 vibe of a Jordan 1. So the blue is not overpowering for any outfit you may choose to wear. So I could have picked that up in a 6.5. You see the price here, before we actually get to like shipping and processing fees and taxes. I could have picked that up. I did not. This hurts, right? Like, understand, there is some part of this whole process that hurts, because it would be awesome to treat myself to these things. And it does come down to, yes, you're able, but are you willing to do something else to put you in a better position? And I say that, right, because me having that shoe, it wouldn't be resold. I'm going to wear it. So then the value of the shoe is going to depreciate because it's worn, versus me paying down this student debt when no interest is accruing on it, which means later on in the future, when I choose to put that money towards other things like in the market, well, my net worth has already gone up by paying down that debt. And now I can take those future payments and put it towards investing that will grow for future me. That's how I'm choosing to look at this. Make myself feel better about it rationally. The other sneaker that I could have picked up, the Travis Scott 6, the olive pair. Now, this is actually the men's pair, not the grade school pair. I think I would still settle. That's bad that I'm going to say settle. I think I would still possibly settle for the grade school pair. But with the men's pair, I remember when a lot of people that wear GS, they got their size in hand. They said that it wasn't as vibrant a green. Like, it wasn't as saturated a green. It just kind of looked ashy. They were a little bit disappointed. I think I pointed that out in like a previous video whenever the shoe dropped. And I said, I wonder if it was a blessing that I didn't get the GS pair, because I definitely tried on sneakers and didn't hit. And so now looking back at the price for what a men's 6 or like a 6.5 is at, I could go for that. And I purchased it this month. But I did not, because, you know, we're being responsible over here on Talks with TJ. And hopefully some young adult takes the lesson that is in that to, you know, sometimes do what is a little bit more of the responsible action. You can always treat yourself later, right? When I don't have student debt, just imagine the possibilities that open up. And that's not to say that I didn't treat myself at other times during this month, because you guys have seen that, right? You've seen the pickup that I had for 2022 to start the month off, and the other one is right here. I just got to get to that. But this is how we're starting off the year, okay? So some student loans are being paid down. I passed on some awesome pairs, but no regrets, because I do think this is the more sound decision. So thanks for tuning in to this first video of the series of 2022. And hopefully by the end, we're celebrating paying off all of these student loans. So thank you again. And as always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.